Yes.
Episode 69.
The sex number, you guys.
Mm-hmm. The sexiest ep ever.
We've been watching Avatar: The Last Airbender. I want to talk about that on the podcast because I've seen it 6 times through, and this is your first time watching it.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think so far?
I like it a lot. It's really good.
Good. I'm glad.
Yeah.
It's easy. It's like maybe my number one show.
Mm-hmm.
Like top 3 for sure. And I'm so happy that I get to watch it with you.
Yeah, it's one of those like things I've been meaning to do many, many times in my life is start that show and watch it, and I just never got around to doing it.
It's so fucking good. I feel like it's more meaningful to watch it with your boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Generally, not you watching it with me, but it is meaningful when you watch it with me.
Wasn't there
like
some
my
like
favorite
Twitter
show.
meme going around about that?
Oh yeah. Well, no, I thought of it, but I didn't tweet it. It's like the format is like blank people don't know how good they have it, but people who watch Avatar: The Last Airbender with their boyfriend are they don't know how good they have it.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I feel, but I do know how good I have it
because
it's incredible. I love being able to watch the show with you.
Mm-hmm. No, it
feels good.
What I like about it is that it's very much made for kids, and so it's like, you know, the plot and everything, you can kind of see where it's going to go generally. But it's clever enough to where you're like, oh, I'm glad they made that choice. You know what I mean? But so to open this up, I wanted to play
let's do it.
Clip.
Oh, is our light all the way on?
Oh, I don't think so.
Yeah, I looked at the bags under my eyes and I was like, geez, those look way darker than usual. There we go.
Now we're a little more illuminated.
Now I look like I've slept.
So here we go.
Don't believe the lies they tell you on Instagram.
So are the people there just not worried about it, Cal? Are they not worried about their own personal safety?
I haven't met anybody who is. I met some folks actually from Lake Geneva who lived in the area. They were staying a few miles outside of town where I were, and they said they're worried about it. They're worried about that second spike. They're worried about folks coming in from Chicago, but they'll quit. And they said they're worried about it. They're worried about this. At the same time, this is a place that relies on that business. I think people here want a little bit more funding when it comes to these programs so that they could stay closed. But
so it's cutting up clips together of the cameraman and bystander.
But again, I think people felt like the Supreme Court made the decision here in Wisconsin that it was time to open up. But you can see here, just around, nobody's wearing them. I think people felt like the Supreme Court made the decision here in Wisconsin that it was time to open up. You can see here, just around, nobody's wearing them. Nobody's. There you go, including the cameraman.
Including the cameraman.
Okay, exactly. Half your crew's not wearing them. Good. So thank you.
I hope they cut back to it. Hang on.
Oh, jeez.
How you doing?
Yeah. Katie?
Striking images.
What a
Oh
dork.
my god.
And I think that like he was so excited to wear his because it matches his top.
Oh my god, he's that gay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's obvious that it's like performative, really.
Right.
For him to be wearing his mask. I obviously wear mine, but like in enclosed spaces.
Yeah, because I mean, I was talking to a friend about this today. Just this idea of, you know, how much, you know, he was trying to say, oh, you know, I have a really good social distancing idea for Sean and his girlfriend and him to hang out. It's like going to some park and having a picnic, and I'm like, cool, that sounds fun, but I'm not really worried about that kind of shit. And then I was like, you know, I'm not going to go to the Abbey on a busy Saturday brunch. It's like, that's like what I'm not interested in doing, even though I was never interested in doing that anyway.
Yeah.
Which is the great part about this, because obviously he knows me well enough to go, well, you wouldn't have wanted to do that anyway. The Abbey's the largest gay club, I think, in the state or in the country, probably, or at least the most popular. But he's like, yeah, you wouldn't have wanted to do that anyway. And I'm like, yeah, the great thing though is I can just say no, and I have like a reason.
Right, I don't want to be around you right now.
No.
Yeah, it's not offensive to your friends when you tell them, yeah, I don't want to hang out.
Yeah.
Rather than being like, I don't know, I'm just like a little depressed today. And they're like, oh, what's wrong? Why don't you come out? It'll make you feel better.
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
it won't.
That's not how I cure my depression.
That is the opposite. It'll make me feel much worse because I'll feel like a downer, and then I'll feel guilty about being a downer, and I'll feel worse because of that. And then by the end of the night, I'll be apologizing to everybody, and then people are like, "What's wrong? I don't know why you're apologizing. Nothing happened." It's like, "Sorry, I hate this so much," and then they'll hate me, and then I go home, and I'm worse off.
And they hate you.
And they hate me, and I get into a spiral where I think they hate me, and I try to fix the things about myself that make them hate me or make me think that they hate me.
It's very codependent, Sean.
I know. So that's why I just don't hang out with people anymore. I just don't really have friends. I play online with my friends. That's
all you need.
Dude, I want to bring back, like, I need to get a PC again. I have one back at my parents' house, but I want to bring back the online gaming and like play games like team-based games. I feel like now is the time to do it. This is the revolution.
What games are online and still popular, like other than Call of Duty?
Maybe like Overwatch.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Fortnite, Apex Legends. I don't want to play any of those, though. I'd want to play like Worms Armageddon. Have you ever played that?
No.
Oh God, Worms. Worms was like that game that you played in like middle school, high school with your friends, and there'd be like an online chat room, and you can like it's sort of like a, I don't know, you would invite your friends to this game, and you would play as like a team of tiny little worms, and it was like worms of mass destruction, and you would have 4 worms, and you'd try to kill the other person's team of worms, and then if you were the last worm standing, you won. It sounds so stupid, but
I like it.
But like a Let's Play channel I've been watching that I actually really enjoy has been playing Worms Armageddon and Worms MD.
Avatar.
Oh, Tom, I'm glad you're watching Avatar. I think it's like the perfect show. Again, I'll say it, 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. 100% on Ratchet Tomatoes.
On
is
Ratchet
almost
Tomatoes.
What I said.
Jacob was asking us about the looting. I don't really know what's going on yet.
Honestly,
whatever. I mean, it was bound to happen.
Yeah, we've been waiting for this.
Yeah, it seems like it's coming a little bit later than expected.
We just needed a proper reason to do it, and now people kind of have one.
I think Target can handle the laws.
Yeah, dude, they've been just fine during all this. The lines I've seen at Target have been absurd.
Yeah, I only went to Target once because normally, before all this happened, I wouldn't typically buy. Jesus Christ. I wouldn't typically buy essentials on Amazon. I would go to Target to do that, or just try to do it all in one sweep. But now, I only really want to go to the grocery store, or
that's the only place I really go shopping. I had to go to Joann's a couple days
that was
ago.
Terrible.
It was a nightmare. So there was no line outside like it was the first time I went earlier in April, but I went this time, and the lines inside were absurd to get your fabric cut, and of course everybody's there for fabric to make masks and shit,
which the ship's kind of sailed there. I think that you kind of got in at the perfect time, and then you made a good amount of money doing it.
Like $1,000.
That's great.
I paid my rent with it.
Yeah.
And so everybody was there getting fabric's all sold out. I was like very short pickings from what I could choose from. But I waited. So when I got there, the number that they were helping with fabrics, I got there at like 11 a.m. The number they were helping was 18. I pulled my number and I had 56.
Oh, God.
I think I waited for an hour to get my fabric cut because, I'm only getting 3 bolts of fabric cut when I go to Joann's. I don't bring a stack of 10 or 12 different fabrics and order like 4 yards of each. I just sort of do like small buyings because I really don't need a whole lot. But every person before me was bringing like 10 or 12 bolts of fabric. And if you don't know what a bolt of fabric is, it's just they roll it onto like a cardboard thing, and that's called a bolt. I think it's like 40 yards is a bolt or something. And so people were bringing like 10 or 12 of those to the counter, and they get all of them cut. They have to do the prices. They have to give them discounts at the counter. And then they bring those cut pieces of fabric to the register at the front of the store to pay for them. So that line was like all the way around the store. I was there for like 2.5 hours. It felt like
that sounds pretty. And it's also the worst place to be, even when the shit wasn't going on, was either a Michael's craft store or Joann's.
Luckily now Michael's is doing curbside pickup, but Joann's and Michael's are not doing fabric curbside pickup. So you can't order any yards of fabric online and pick it up outside the store. You have to go in their stores.
And
the only open store is like one within a 50-mile radius of here. Luckily, it's 10 miles from my house and not 50. But the only open Joann store is like in Buena Park or whatever.
And it's probably because they don't know what inventory they have. When you go into that place, it's like, you're like, is this even real? It's just one of those kinds of places of, this is a real store.
Yeah.
This is a real chain.
So if we're going to start looting, Joann should be the first.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, supposed to start making our own clothes here shortly.
Oh, I know. I'm so excited. I just bought like 3 yards of linen. I'm going to make a shirt out of it. Although I have to make a simple, boring shirt for class. I'm going to try and do what I can to make it good.
So Biden, a hard shift on there. I'm sorry.
Let's do it.
Yeah, Biden, in a strangely coherent. First off, I want to talk about the framing here. This guy is so low down.
This is a live stream Biden did this morning
with the governor of Pennsylvania. Biden was pretty coherent, but this happened.
This is about people. It's about making sure you don't have to cut those teachers and firefighters, police officers, and cut critical healthcare programs, or stop work on roads and bridges. So
what just happened there?
He clearly fucking ripped ass, dude.
Let's just do
and firefighters, police officers.
You know what? Just so we can do. Let's see if we can slow it down a little bit. Wait, how do you do that?
Playback speed.
Thank you.
And
0.75.
Yeah, 0.75 sounds good.
And cut critical healthcare programs, or stop work on roads and bridges. So, what does the human cost of?
So.
Oh my God.
I need a little bit slower. Let me see it.
Yeah. What do we got?
Let's do 0.5.
Oh God.
And it's
scary.
This is some math exercise. This is about people. It's about making sure you don't have to cut those teachers and firefighters, police officers, and cut critical healthcare programs, or stop work on roads and bridges. So, what does the human cost?
What does a human
I mean,
cause?
That
is how he should be talking. This is how I hear him when he talks.
Yeah. Well, I think what I'm noticing now in slow speed, which he farted, so we can just move on
Absolutely.
from that.
Fucking ripped ass.
Is that like
shorts.
how much teeth sounds?
We got vaccines for everybody today. How does it get distributed? Who distributes it? Where does it go? How quickly does it get there? And so I think we have to start planning ahead, which leads me
I think we found our new lane.
Another question.
It's slowing down Joe Biden interviews to half speed.
Yeah. I'm very into this.
Holy fuck. It's like nightmarish, but it's hilarious. Because that is what I hear when he starts any sentence.
Well, like I said, it's so he speaks fast enough to where I said it's like jazz. It's kind of like you're trying to follow the thread he throws out. You know the thing. It's just like just this kind of. And then I'm like, do I know the thing? I don't think I know the thing. I missed where we were going with that.
It's like Breath of the Wild music that follows the actions that your character makes. When you hit an enemy, the actual the emphasis of the beat happens the moment that your weapon hits. I've been playing Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
So it happens when you hit a monster, even if it's like somewhere in the middle of the composition. It still emphasizes that beat, even if it's like on an offbeat or something. So it sometimes sounds funny, but it is jazz. It's jazz.
But what's great is that
improv jazz.
Joe Biden's doing a little bit of improv jazz. He's scoop-apping to dooping, and then we got his soon-to-be VP laying down a fire pop track.
So I wrote back, hey, Donald Trump, the science is on my side, and I'd like to see how your hair would fare
in a blizzard.
Blizzard. So I wrote back, hey, Donald Trump, the science is on my side.
So good.
And I'd like to see how your hair would
fare in a blizzard.
Blizzard.
Oh Oh, that was Jordan. I gotta commend you for that one. I think that has been your funniest song yet.
Well, I think what the fucked up part is like very similar to the Biden thing. Is like normally, so this I don't think I can leave this one up because I have to give this beat to somebody.
Right.
But the thing was, I was working on this beat, and then I was thinking of that clip, and I'm like, oh, she the beat's in G minor, but she's like at a G sharp kind of, and so I tuned her obviously, but there was that like to see how your hair would fare in a blizzard, and it was like I heard the
very
music.
rhythmic,
Yes.
very musical.
Well, and that's the crazy thing about it. So that beats like at a normal kind of hip hop speed, which is like 140 beats per minute, but it's normally half timed than to 70. And I didn't even have to, other than cutting up the blizzard thing, I just laid her thing down in there, and it was fit
on
perfectly because basically what we're saying is that fuck this new Lady Gaga song. I want the Klobuchar album.
Right. The sign of a popular leader is one who speaks in rhythm.
Yes.
In musicality.
Yep.
But yeah, fuck Lady Gaga and Ariana Grande.
Agreed.
Who needs them?
Who needs them? And we'll get to that in a moment. But the thing that I'm concerned about is I make these beats, and the music I put behind them, the Biden one was from scratch. But I'm like, does this make them look cool? That's not what I'm trying to do.
I think it makes them look foolish. Because, I mean, if you know even the smallest amount of context from that vocal clip, she made that joke like 15 times at 15 different rallies.
Yeah.
So clearly she's a fool. But you took the right one and made it into something even funnier.
She's hard to hate, though. I mean,
I know.
Because it's one of those things of like, you know, it was interesting, and I think that I don't know her story, but I assume it's very similar to this. Do you remember the Chicago mayor? She got in trouble, Lori Lightfoot, because she got a haircut during the quarantine, even though she's been super draconian about how she was managing Chicago. And then I was like, fuck her, you know? And then I go into her Wikipedia page, and it's like something about my heart melts for people who just did all of the things in life that you're supposed to end up being a politician. It's like in 5th grade, she was class president, and then she was on the yearbook team, and then she won class president every time in high school, and then she went to such and such college and she majored in political science, and at that college she was part of the blah 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 committee. Like everything is just so lined up, and then someone like her does all the right things, and then most of the country doesn't like her. And then you get somebody like Trump that just like took it. This is mine now. It's mine.
Right. That's like a position she would have dreamed of having.
Oh, yeah.
And she took every step to get there, and somebody like Trump got it,
which is
without doing any of the work that she did.
And I just feel like Klobuchar's trajectory is probably exactly the same. Like there's just so much of like.
Well, I know her story.
Do you?
Yeah, she grew up in a very poor Latino family. Her name was actually Elena before it was Amy Klobuchar. It was Elena de Castillo.
Is this a joke?
Yeah, don't you know her Elena thing?
Oh,
we
I
actually
do
talked
know
about
the
it on
Elena
the
thing.
podcast.
Yeah.
She grew up in a very poor
You were
Latino
saying it so
family.
sincerely though. I'm like, wait a minute, did I miss something?
Am I that good?
I mean,
think
you
I'm
are
that good.
And that good.
But yeah, it's just that Elena thing. She did it at another rally where she talked about her name being Elena in Spanish class. So she's like, I know your struggles. I had to. It's like, I know exactly what it's like to be a brown woman in America. She didn't say that, but
that would have been a hard hole for her to dig herself
like,
out
look, I am 1/18th Native American, just like Elizabeth Warren.
Right.
Yeah, I think. No.
So I wrote back, hey, Donald Trump, the science is on my side, and I'd like to see how your hair would fare in a blizzard.
What I love about that clip too is that when she delivers her just fiery line, the crowd goes nuts.
They love it.
Oh, yeah.
They eat that shit.
I mean, you can hear it because I have the original one here.
So I wrote back, hey, Donald Trump, the science is on my side, and I'd like to see how your hair would fare in a blizzard.
I think it's just one or two ladies who are like doing like,
they're like, fuck yeah,
like that lady on Kyoshi Island.
Yes, yeah.
Wow, foaming at the mouth. Yeah,
that clip made me laugh really hard. That bit in the show. But yeah, so Biden farted, and now playing him at half speed is the best thing ever. There's actually
Which we've newly discovered.
There's something I wanted to show you, and this is actually something I just stumbled onto on accident.
Yeah.
Because his Twitter popped up. Okay, some preface. His Twitter popped up because I follow him, or his account or whatever. He tweeted something dumb.
I blocked him.
Did you?
No. Just kidding.
He
called me a slur and I blocked him.
Oh, we know. I mean, Joe drops hard R's often.
He called me a hanky-panky faggot and then I blocked him.
Look here, you hanky-panky faggot. But so I looked at so his profile picture is so bad that I thought it was a parody account.
Oh no.
But then I went to his actual thing and look at this.
That should be a parody account. Oh my god.
So can you explain what's going on in this picture?
He's got his classic aviator sunglasses on. And he's got a black mask covering his face. And he's like mean mugging at the camera.
No, but look at the ear.
Oh, I didn't even notice
look how much it's coming off of his face.
It's sliding off his face.
It's a horrible picture, but in all of his infinite wisdom,
that is awful.
It's just I don't. Are they fucking with us?
I don't know, and it sucks because I want to know. I would say I would stan the DNC if they're like, nah, I got you guys at the very end of all this.
Right.
I would be like, all right, fucking, I'm all in on the DNC just pranking us this whole time.
I mean,
and then they reveal like an actual good candidate.
Well, they won't, but it'd be a good bit.
It would be a great bit
if
the DNC just pranked us.
Yeah. But I just could not. I couldn't believe it. It just. Where did it go?
You gotta zoom out a little.
It's just. It's horrible.
It is. It's falling off his ear hair.
Yeah. Ugh.
That is gross.
It's a mess. Joe is such a mess.
He is a mess. I don't really know what he thinks he's doing.
He
thinks he's running for fucking Congress.
Yeah. Well, and then you see the clip the other day where he's like, only I can defeat Joe Biden. That was like one of the latest gaffes he had.
No way. Only I can defeat Joe Biden. And so that fart happened this morning, and I've seen a lot of like mainstream outlets actually talk about Biden farting, which is interesting.
That's gonna be hard to find. Damn it.
Are you looking for like a video clip?
Yeah.
I don't know if
it was like one that got cut out.
Joe, only I can defeat Joe Biden.
I don't know, whatever. I'll try that.
Joe Biden. You might want to Google only I can defeat Joe Biden. So I think that might.
I've been using Brave's browser, so.
God.
They won't let it. They won't let it get.
No, of course not.
It doesn't matter.
Bummer, but I believe it. Joe, don't vote for me, Biden.
Right. Yeah.
That's his official campaign.
If you don't vote for me, you're not black.
Joe, you ain't black Biden.
I just like I really want like a the deal with it meme where the glasses drop down. And I wanted to just like, instead of it being the joint and the glasses, like the glasses and just an ice cream cone. But it's like it's aviators and then an ice cream cone. So it's like when he says that to Charlemagne, it's just.
But the aviators just like bounce off his nose.
Dunk.
And the ice cream, he like misses it.
It's like that one picture of him I have in the Biden song where it's like, it's just like
dripping out his face.
Dribble of it out his face.
Uncle Joe should always wear a mask for the safety of all the underage girls. No one's hair should ever be inhaled.
Well, fortunately for him, all of his masks are made out of young girl hair.
That's true. I personally wove one. I wove one together
out of the pubes of prepubescent girls.
That is awful.
Or post-pubescent. I don't know.
Pubescent. In puberty.
In puberty. It's only the finest of pussy hair. Jesus.
It's like when you order veal at a restaurant.
Veal?
Oh, veal. Yeah, veal. I was thinking of something from a video game. It's like when you order baby sheep or baby lamb at a restaurant.
Yeah, but veal's horrific.
Only the finest. But rich people order veal.
Yeah. Well, because veal's good. I could do without veal based on how we have to get it.
Yeah.
Kind of like foie gras as well. It's like.
Yeah, that's a little bit inhumane. You like overstuff a fucking duck until it dies of like overfeeding.
Yeah,
and then you take its fatty liver and like blend it up and then compact it into a paste, and then take crackers and just scoop out that
It's
paste.
good. It's
fucking delicious.
I don't require it. To
Yeah.
live.
They, God, in France, it's like they come in little pre-processed packaging things, and you would get one with lunch. It was like, so you would get like a loaf of bread, or like half a loaf, like about the size of like two fists. And so you would get one from the lunch line. The food was fucking great. The lunch was delicious at the cafeteria. Always delicious. But there would be like the main course. So maybe it was like rooster wing or rooster leg or whatever. Like leg de coq is like what it was. Like red wine rooster leg with like Mediterranean rice, and then at the very end you would pick up your bread and your dessert, your bread, your cheese, and your dessert. But among the desserts and the cheese was like little like pre-processed foie gras things, and you would literally like peel back like those, you know, those ketchup packets that are like either dip or squirt. You know, you like peel off one side to squirt it, and then you peel off the top to dip it. It was like basically like one of those packages. You would like peel back the foil, and you would use your bread to like scoop out little bits of the foie gras and eat it.
But yeah, that's amazing.
Delicious, but
well, because like you can, I've
horrific.
had like chicken liver pate that satiates the same. So because it's just liver blended with a fuckload of salt. I mean, it's essentially all it is. I don't know. I haven't noticed like a huge difference between the two animals, and it's like if chicken liver is fine because you're gonna just discard it anyway, so you might as well use it for food,
right?
And it's good for you. Organ meats are like super good for you, but yeah, the means through is veal a French thing too?
No, I didn't have any when I was there. Duck definitely is.
Yeah,
they eat duck meat, but we don't really eat duck meat.
I
here.
love duck meat.
Me too. And honestly, I think it's more humane to eat duck meat and also duck liver, foie gras, because it's you eat the whole thing,
right?
You know, it's more humane to do that. So just farm raised ducks to be eaten, like farm ducks to be eaten, and to be harvested for their fucking liver paste. Man, I miss those school lunches. They were so good. I remember they had the best day was when they did like American Hamburger Day, because they would not give you buns. There was no bun on the hamburger. It was just like a thick, fat fucking fatty patty of meat, and they had like mayo ketchup, so that was fucking delicious. And they would just stack your plate with fries, and then your dessert was like a fruity yogurt or like bread and cheese. It was so good. I got so chunky over there.
Bread and cheese as a dessert.
That's what we so in France with my host family. What we would do is during dinner and after dinner, bread and cheese, bread with dinner. If whatever remaining bread you had after dinner, you would eat with cheese, and then after you finished your bread and cheese, then it was on to dessert. Every single night. Dessert was pretty like stagnant, so it was like fruit or like yogurt or something, but always a dessert after dinner, after bread and cheese. Insane, dude. The way they eat over there.
How much wine is consumed in between?
Wine is throughout. I mean, I didn't really drink a whole lot because I was 15.
They let you though, right?
They did, yeah. Every once in a while. So like when we would go over to like our neighbor's house, who was also like the family of where I lived. So my host family was like husband and wife, 3 daughters, and me. And then connected to that house, we shared a backyard with another house that was owned by the parents of my host family. And then on the upper story was the sister and brother-in-law of my host family. So it was just this huge like family communal thing. And we would go up there for like parties sometimes, and I would drink there, of course. So they'd be like, yeah, just fucking drink whatever you want. And I'm like, okay. Oh my God. They had, I'm talking so much about food.
That's okay.
But they had, and I'm sure they have them somewhere in the US, but they had like syrup that you would put into water that would make it into like juice, or they would make it into like weird like beverages. They had like mint syrup, they had grenadine syrup, they had like pomegranate syrup, and you would pour it into a glass, and you would pour in like a quarter inch into a glass, and then you would just put like tap water on top of it, and it was fucking delicious. It was just like, it would all mix together, and it would make just like a grenadine juice or grenadine water and mint water. It was so good.
That sounds really good.
I miss the food there. The food and the drink there was just insane, dude. Oh, just every day to day, the stuff you would eat.
And like, they aren't really fat there.
No. Well, the thing is, they have actual public transportation and walkable distances.
Yeah.
The U.S. does not.
No.
Unless you live downtown in any city. So like here, or there rather, I took the bus to school, but I could walk it in 15 minutes, and it was all uphill, all downhill. It was all of these fucking like cliffs that you would have to walk over. The school, to get to it on foot, you had to go up like 180 steps. So and the bus would drop you off at the bottom. So I got my exercise while I was there. I was just overcompensating by eating so much when I was there. Insane, dude. I love the food.
Can you read Gio's comment?
Have you eaten cow tongue? The texture feels like you're making out with it. It's delicious.
I have had cow tongue. It's good.
It's been a long time.
I've had cow
me.
brains as well. That was not pleasant.
Cow brains.
All right, so let's talk about China.
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about China. So this is an article from the times.co.uk.
Yeah, and so they wanted me to paywall this article. I'm not going to do it. I tried to outline it, but you'll get the point.
Yeah, fuck them.
In we actually can read. So
it says, well, the headline is China must prepare for war, says Xi. China must prepare for war as coronavirus recedes, President Xi has said, as relations between Washington and Beijing plummet. His remarks followed a warning by the defense minister that confrontation between China and the United States had entered a high-risk period. Disputes between the countries include Beijing's crackdown on dissent in Hong Kong, where it is trying to impose a national security law that has drawn protests. We must explore ways to train and to prepare for war when epidemic control efforts are getting normalized, Mr. Xi said. We must hasten to step up preparations for armed warfare, carry out real combat military training with flexibility, and to comprehensively enhance our Army's abilities to perform military missions.
And then on the heels of that,
here's a world news thing from Twitter. U.S. declares Hong Kong is no longer politically autonomous from China. Very cool. So Hong Kong, the protests were all in vain because China is all powerful and will literally...
And could have probably let out a virus to make them end.
They'll mow you down one way or another.
Yeah, whether it be Tiananmen Square or this. Not saying that they did it on purpose, but it certainly worked.
They had a reason to. Mm-hmm. A reason is not an excuse. But they had every reason to try to wipe out Hong Kong, but obviously you cannot contain a virus to just one small country like Hong Kong.
Well, yeah. The interesting thing too is
Hong Kong is the city, right?
Right.
Taiwan is the island.
Right. And then to that, Taiwan is now saying that they'll accept refugees from Hong Kong, which is going to even just ratchet up the tension even higher.
Wait, sorry. Hong Kong is where am I confused? Geographically, Hong Kong is what? A city?
Right. And well, so the reason why this is like
I used to know this.
This is tense is because Hong Kong was established as a British colony, I believe.
98 years ago or something.
Yeah,
like
and
that.
then there was an agreement to let them kind of maintain their kind of autonomy financially, which has benefited us because we have a kind of a unique trading partner with Hong Kong. And it's very similar to Taiwan. I don't remember the origins of it, but China doesn't recognize Taiwan. It does not exist, even though it's in China. And I think that Hong Kong was attempting to maintain the same level of autonomy, and China's just said no. But so much of our trading business with China is with Hong Kong and Taiwan.
Yeah.
Which, is like a point of contention, obviously, for China. And I think what China's trying to do is ratchet down on these things so then they can reap the benefits of this trading relationship. But
I did a brief history corner when we first talked about the Hong Kong protests months back in October.
I have a really weird. I want to make sure we don't get something wrong.
The Hong Kong protests. I did a very brief history thing, but I think in 1898, the British government was like, "Hey, we're gonna lease this land to." I think that the British government got God, what is it? I think the British government had Hong Kong until like 1998. Here we go. Colony expanded in 1860. The whole territory was returned to China in 1997. Yeah, so in 1897 or 1898, they signed a 99-year lease. Yeah, there it is. Britain obtained a 99-year lease of the new territories in 1898. So they signed that lease from China to basically have control of Hong Kong, and then they gave it back in 1997. And then mainland China took it back under the principle of one country, two systems. Let's see.
And this is important to why they're
as of 2019, as of the 2019 annual ranking of the Index of Economic Freedom, Hong Kong has come out on top 25 years in a row, according to the Heritage Foundation, a U.S. conservative libertarian think tank. Index of Economic Freedom. So they were free. They were in the top 25. Oh, sorry. They were the top 25 years in a row in economic freedom. I wonder how that's going to change. The Index of Economic Freedom is an annual index and ranking created by the Heritage Foundation to measure the degree of economic freedom in the world's nations. The creators of the index took an approach similar to the Wealth of Nations, that basic institutions that protect the liberty of individuals to pursue their own economic interests result in greater prosperity for the larger society.
Very westernized economic, which is why, again, they're like a trading partner.
If you were to separate Hong Kong's GDP per capita from mainland China's GDP per capita, they'd be doing much better.
Right.
I think that's kind of what it is.
And what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
Tom found the quote.
Found this on Google. On CNBC, Biden said, "I'm prepared to say that I have a record of over 40 years, and that I'm going to beat Joe Biden. Look at my record." I'm going to beat Joe Biden, says Joe Biden. Joe, I'm going to beat Joe Biden.
Yeah.
I'd love to refer to him as that in quotation marks between his name. That's his official campaign name.
That's no good.
Yeah, definitely no good.
Really very bad.
So I wanted to get to this. This is interesting to me. So like this has been kind of developing, and this is Trump's Twitter.
Yeah, if the FISA bill is passed tonight on the House floor, I will quickly veto it. Our country has just suffered through the greatest political crime in its history. The massive abuse of FISA was a big part of it.
So what's interesting to me on this is like, you know, in line with him, he has to make it about himself and not how the Patriot Act, FISA courts are all a massive abuse to everybody.
And he let the Patriot Act get renewed.
He did. Well, he had no choice, really. Like, he publicly, but he had no choice over the vote. But it's going to be interesting to me to see if he actually throws some weight around concerning this, even if it's purely in self-interest. That would be kind of amazing.
When he acts in self-interest, for many people, he's also acting in their self-interest.
Right.
Just in pure recklessness. It's like when he acts in self-interest by striking down like privacy acts, he's inadvertently helping actual Americans.
Right.
Protecting our privacy. I don't think he means to do it. I mean, like, it's the ego thing. Like you said, he has to make it about himself. But if he does strike things down, great. That's good for us.
I'm going to see if you say more about it.
God, even his header is, like...
Aggressive.
Aggressive, yeah.
And he's also talking about, today, government regulation on tech companies.
Oh.
Let's see here.
I'm wondering.
Like, and so this is going to be interesting too.
Big tech is doing everything in their very considerable power to censor in advance of the 2020 election. If that happens, we no longer have our freedom. I will never let it happen. They tried hard in 2016 and lost. Now they are going absolutely crazy. Stay tuned.
It's like a TV show is Twitter.
Stay tuned. Both of those words are capitalized.
So here we go.
At my request.
Oh, no, that's jumping. We don't want to talk about
right.
that. I don't want to talk about George Floyd.
The SpaceX, the NASA thing today.
Yeah, that was a bummer. But I'm looking forward to seeing it again. And what I was saying to you of like, why is everyone mad at Elon Musk? What happened? Like, really woke people seem to be really fucking mad at him right now.
Because he's like, what he's been saying on Twitter has just been
like the take the red pill thing. Is that what it was?
Take the red pill. That among other things that he's.
But even that was confusing because it was the take the red pill and then it had the DSA rose emoji next to it. So I don't think anyone knows what they're even mad about.
No, they don't. They really don't. I think they just think he's like an irony bro now, and that is alt-right now.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
So like he is some kind of, and he is very much admired by people who are like pseudo intellectual, like listeners of JRE, and so things like that. He's very much a hero for them, and I think that just paints him as a bad guy, because he's sort of lumped into like Joe Rogan and lumped into like the intellectual dork web.
I wanted to pull this.
Oh, this is awful, dude.
So, like I said, George, I don't want to talk about this police brutality thing just because it's so. What is there to say? I mean, you know what I mean. It was. I was
telling you, I'm fucking depressed by it.
Yeah.
It really throws me for a fucking sad loop. I couldn't even watch the full video of George Floyd.
Yeah, I mean, I did, and it was just kind of it was egregious, and it's looking like there was. I mean, it's just bad. It's bad. It makes cops look bad. But the problem is that whenever these things happen, everyone's got to have a hot take, and this image has been circulating. You noticed it. I noticed it, and this is how you don't get things done in way.
Right. It's very very counterproductive. So this is an iceberg analogy here. And it says overt white supremacy at the tip of the iceberg, socially unacceptable. We've got lynching, hate crimes, blackface, the N-word, KKK, stuff like that. Beneath the tip of the iceberg is fucking like a dissertation of apparently covert white supremacy that is socially acceptable, in parentheses. Calling the police on black people, having white parents, self-segregating neighborhoods.
Having white parents.
Respectability politics, tone policing is racist. Let's see, virtuous victim narrative, all lives matter is white supremacy. English only initiatives, which I assume is in English speaking countries, is white supremacy. English is at this point not a white language.
No, it's a global
all
language.
of India fucking speaks English.
Yeah.
You're saying you are so articulate is white supremacy. This is all covert white supremacy. Black and indigenous people of color as Halloween costumes. Of course, that's racist. You probably shouldn't do that. Treating kids of color as adults. That's covert white supremacy. It's just like, it's so odd because throughout these things, like all the things that I mentioned, or most of the things that I mentioned, are very like
assuming good intentions are enough.
Oh my god, I couldn't even find that one. Assuming good intentions are enough. Assuming that somebody to have good intentions when they do something wrong is now covert white supremacy.
And this one pisses me off too. Anti-immigration policies. So the only way to not be a racist in the eyes of these people is to be totally for open immigration policy.
Right, exactly. What I think about this is like the parts of this that are bad are very, very bad. So, school to prison pipeline, obviously very bad. Police murdering people of color, obviously very bad. Housing discrimination, obviously very bad. Weaponized whiteness. Here's another one that's just absolutely ridiculous. Celebration of Columbus Day. That is covert white supremacy, you guys. But
and what's so crazy about that one, like so many of these they're all kind of the same thing of like no one with any authority or intellect decided that Columbus Day was racist. It's like we look back on a figure that is controversial by 2020 standards, but at the time it was much more complicated than that.
Right.
Way more complicated. Was he a racist? Yeah, but so was everybody. It's kind of thing of like I don't, but you made the point when we were looking at this of it's circular. There is this mess is just to not solve anything.
What is that one that you pointed out? It was self-appointed white ally.
Yeah. So
that one.
That's what's crazy to me is it's like we like don't talk to black people, don't notice their race, but notice it all the time. But also you can't be an ally if we don't decide that you are. And it's like, guys, this is divisive. This isn't helpful. Like, and again, it's one of those things, and this is like what we talked about with a number of different things kind of in this arena of like, this has to be some kind of psyop. I mean, there's just no way because again, it's like similar to the protesters that everyone was calling right wing and dumb. And I said on a few podcasts ago of like, they're trying to divide you. Don't you understand? Like, this is all about class solidarity. This is all this is. And him getting killed by the cop, that's what this was. And the more and more you want to make this about race and this impossibility to access a conversation with you, you're not going to get anything done.
Right.
Because wake the fuck up. The majority of this country is white. And frankly, I think that this behavior has made people racist. Like, because
it has. The people who were somewhere teetering on the fence of like fully embracing their prejudice and racism are now completely so far gone because of shit like this.
And because these standards are ridiculous, number one, and number two, they're impossible. And I cannot tell you how many friends, like I would have not, I had to actually make sure to crop her out, but like so many people I know and respect posted this. I don't even think they read it. Because I think if they really read it, they would have been like, the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? Right. And like, I'm not racist at all, but this kind of shit is like, if this is what you guys are calling blackness, I don't want anything to do with it. Because this is a full-time job of trying to be whatever the fuck you expect me to be, and I'm not going to be your fucking servant. Blow me. Like, I'm not going to serve you, and you're like, because here's the reality. And if anybody who's posting this really was being honest, you don't care about anybody who is black or gay or Asian unless you know them. That's the people you care about. And the fact that they are these things shouldn't matter at all. It shouldn't be the reason through which you... I don't know.
And look at this. Like, that one down at the bottom that says, expecting black, indigenous people of color to teach white people That is like... every time. So I had a friend who posted, or rather had their friend who happens to be black post on their behalf a video on their Instagram being like, hey, like, text these numbers to get justice for George Floyd. It's George, right? I know his last name is Floyd. So. George Floyd. Sorry, I'm having a blanking moment, but had her friend who happens to be black post on her behalf and say, like, text these numbers, and also in this time, like, reach out to me, reach out to your friends who are of color, and like, and then one of these expectations, or one of these covert white supremacy things is asking your, like, friends of color to teach you, even though, like, the same person who posted this this iceberg is saying, hey, reach out to your friends of color and ask them questions, ask them how they're doing and what you can do as an ally to help. But really, like, what this is like, it makes allyship
look like a joke.
It look like a joke, yes. And there are so many things in here that have to change. Housing discrimination.
But even what your friend did, which is kind and noble, and she's young.
I think that is the right thing to do if you want to post about this. Ask a friend of color to speak on your behalf.
Sure.
You know?
But at the same time, anybody who saw that video, do you have to ask your black friend how to feel about it? It was horrible. Objectively horrible.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it doesn't matter that he was black. It just is matter. It matters that a cop literally laid on this guy's neck until he died. That's what matters. And again, it's like, this is the mistake that Black Lives Matter made every single time. It's like, you have to make it this shit. You have to make it this shit every single time, and not saying that the police are out of fucking control with their power.
Right. And look, like, there are great things that are listed, not great things, but things that are listed that need to change. Police brutality.
Sure, but the problem...
But these are systemic things that none of us, as your friends, as your white friends, can do anything about. The systems in place, the meritocracy, fucking...
But the problem is the people who make this shit, they, like, okay, for instance, denial of white privilege. So... But these are the people that have this very inflated view of what that means. Like, by virtue of being born white alone, you are ahead of somebody who was born black. And that is bullshit. It's like, because, again, it's like, if I'm born, you know, in Appalachia and I'm white, or if I'm Jay-Z's son, it's a big fucking difference. Huge. And that's what we desperately need to get back to, is just, it's about class. It's about
how much
class.
Money do you have? How much money you have determines how you succeed.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's so frustrating to see this shit. I saw it on one of my friends' Instagrams, and I just like, not even my friend, fucking Tyler Oakley, like that dude is inside all day just posting shit like that, and I was so tempted to reach out and be like, do you understand, like, you have white parents, therefore you are covertly a white supremacist. You have expressed like being respectable in politics. That makes you a white supremacist. It's just like
it never ends.
It never ends.
And like I'm really getting sick of the like how they talk about like whenever these people use the term whiteness, it's totally it's always a negative thing, and it's this weapon they kind of wield. But what ultimately why I like it's not about any reverse racism, which is on there too. You can't, apparently that doesn't exist. Only white people can be racist according to these people. I'm not mad at this conversation. Like I'm mad that they are failing at they could do something. They could make a change, but these people are ruining it for you. I mean, like again, it's so poorly done and so poorly executed, and the fact that like Sean King still has a fucking platform,
right?
Just I can't help but think, are you guys trying to get the other side excited and ruin your cause? Is that what you're trying to do? Because it seems like everything that comes out of the left, like liberal circles, is division now. That's all it is. It's like, you have such and such thing. Okay, we got to put you over here.
It's like it's shrinking the Democratic Party. People who would vote Democrat, what I mean. Like, it is dividing and conquering them to push them out of the Democratic Party, and it's like, that is not how you get votes. But Dab, you were absolutely right. You did solve racism the last time we spoke to you. What Dab said was like, we are all shades of brown.
Yeah, essentially.
No matter how light, no matter how dark, we are all. If you take out the saturation and just change the value of our skin tone, we're all the same.
Yeah.
I love you, Dab. I'm not poking any kind of fun.
Sorry, I just don't want to lose my train of thought. What's tough too is like, so, and I think the thing that these people need to realize, the people who make that triangle thing, is you are Candace Owens on the other side. That's who you are. So like equally as ineffective, well, she's very effective because they've created the space for her to exist. She wouldn't have a platform or a voice, and you all hate her if it weren't for how you're behaving. Don't like, why is that not obvious to them?
And it's also very opportune that she's black.
Right.
To that side of the aisle, it's very opportune that she is a black conservative woman. So yes,
she says I just don't buy her.
She's got she's got people in her pockets.
But it was like
money
clockwork.
in her pocket.
It was like clockwork that this video was so cut and dry. And I've now seen few other different things because people were trying to say he was resisting. He wasn't. Like it was. I saw another thing that was even before what you've seen. Like there's no.
Really?
There's no. It's ridiculous.
And it's so clear that it's awful and like
it's murder.
It's murder.
It's murder.
There needs to be
manslaughter, but
there needs to be justice.
Yeah,
obviously, everybody. It's unanimous that people agree on that.
Yeah,
I've seen all over the internet.
But then
people,
like clockwork. Well, except for her, she chimes in with
Candace Owens.
Yeah, she like literally to this story. She chimed in with race and crime stats, and it's like, bitch, let's not right now. This is because it's equally the same. It's the same lack of usefulness. Like nothing is going to get solved here. And again, it's like, take the fucking like you're as that's the crazy thing about it is someone like Candace Owens and the Triangle people are so racially focused that they can't watch this video of just a dude getting killed and
see it for what it is.
A dude getting killed by the cops. That's what it is. It's not his.
It's just they're Candace Owens and the Iceberg people weaponize it in the opposite direction from one another.
But both sides get nothing done.
Exactly. Yeah.
And
God, Candace Owens. I haven't even thought about her in like months. She makes me want to vomit.
I haven't really waded into her shit after we got. People got so mad at us for that thing.
Tiny fucking, I don't know. When she wears the MAGA hat, her head looks so fucking tiny. Next to Charlie Kirk, whose head is like a fucking
enormous
watermelon.
Yeah, that homosexual. Can you read Tom's comment?
Yes, I so agree with all you say. I too could not watch the clip and feel it was a terrible wrong. But crap like this posts don't do anything really valuable in terms of addressing instances. Absolutely they don't, Tom. Amen. Black, white, green. It is the action, not the color of the victim that is significant. Exactly. Having worked in local child welfare agencies, I can assure you reverse racism exists.
Yeah, I mean,
there is like there's a prejudice that just cannot be attributed to one color of skin.
Ask black people how they feel about Asians. They hate them, and they'll openly tell you. It's not even a generalization. I mean, it's like for real. Especially like black folks in New York, there is like a hardcore hatred of kind of both sides. Like Asians, Chinese people don't respect black people at all. And conversely, black people just think they're like the worst fucking thing to ever happen. And so it's like racism just exists everywhere, and it's all ignorance. But it's like to say that one race is somehow more ignorant than the other, it's so counterproductive. Like it just, we get nothing done. And I really think the conversation of racism needs to evolve or change or go away. It's not serving any purpose anymore. Especially like we were saying to Steve on that interview of like, that term means nothing anymore.
Right.
It has no teeth. It has none. And so, like, even with this ridiculous Jimmy Fallon thing where they're trying to cancel him 20 years later for doing blackface on SNL, it's like...
Oh, my God. I totally forgot about that.
Yeah. It's just like you guys have rendered this claim toothless. It has no utility anymore. So now that you guys have effectively killed it by crying wolf every fucking day... Where do we go from here? Because I'm tired of this being framed this way. I really am. Like, this isn't Trump's fault. Like, he's, if you want me to be very hospitable, he's a symptom. He like to a much larger problem. But ultimately, you all know what it is. It's class solidarity. And like, if you're broke, you're fucked, and if you're rich, you're less fucked. So,
the tension right now is so high that it is so clearly orchestrated by those at the top who want us to hate each other and kill each other before we kill them.
Right.
If we kill each other, we won't be strong enough to kill them.
And that's the thing. It's like, so all this framing...
Hypothetically. I'm not talking about a real violent revolution. I'm not calling for you to take your garden tools, like your hoes and your axes and your pickaxes that you use to chop wood and break rocks. I'm not calling for you to take those tools and go to the streets and bust down the doors of your local Capitol building. What I am saying is that, like, the hypothetical killing, it's like we need to destroy the class divide.
Yeah.
That's what it is. I am not calling for you to kill your local, not your local government, your state and national representatives. That is not what I'm calling for.
And then we just got we're on another list now.
I'm explicitly saying not to do that. Do not do that. Yeah. Do not do that.
I like this face. That's good. Yeah, I think that's that on that.
Should we talk about Lady Gaga, Rain on Me?
Yeah, we
Brain on Me?
Yeah, brain on Me. I don't even know how the song goes. All I know is that gays are fucking floored with it.
Oh, yeah. Do you have that video of that gay dancing to it?
I can find it.
Can you find it? It's in our messages if you're able to look in our links.
I know where to go.
We were going to look at the lyrics of it because...
Yeah, let me pull those up as well.
I personally think it's about...
Her getting peed on.
Golden shower.
Okay, let me get that real quick.
I can pull up the lyrics on my phone.
It's fine to have them up on here because we can put them on the screen.
Did Ben Moore tweet about it? He is bitch updates.
I think he changed it again. That's
shit, he did. I don't remember. He's been tweeting a lot today though, so if you scroll, you might find him.
Yeah, well, I'll go to our message.
Okay. So this song has been really just like blowing up. I think the gays are just deprived of the things that make us feel whole, that make us feel our holes. This is great. We might want to be careful with the sound.
I'm not going to play the sound.
Yeah. So this is obviously a gay dancing to Rain on Me.
Shit.
Sorry about
I'm
that.
so sorry.
Hope your ears aren't bleeding too bad. The way he's dancing is like pretty competent.
He's doing what they're doing. Yeah, I love this hard edit that's coming up here, where it's
right.
It's like hard edit now, and then that one that made me laugh so fucking hard.
Well, he's dancing along to the choreography in the music video. Jared Manista is his name.
So this in the comment on the video is, if this was my son, I would kill myself, and it's some other gay, I think.
Yeah.
But I was wondering because this didn't offend me, even though I think that it's kind of ridiculous. But I think it's helping that he's cute. I think it's like, I can like forgive it a little bit more.
Yeah, he is cute, and his arms are like pretty good.
Yeah.
They're pretty muscly.
Yeah.
He's a competent dancer.
And you know what it is, and like this, it's these kinds of things. It's hard for like the two things you should never do to people is shit on their dancing or shit on their laugh. That's two things you should never do.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Just to be a good human, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's good though. I mean, he's much better than I would be if I attempted to do this. But anyway, I don't know what. So that's him.
He's great. But here are the lyrics to "Rain on Me." Looking in the mirror at this woman, down and out. She was internally dying. This is not the right song.
Oh, it's not?
Nope. This is Ashanti.
Oh, Gaga. Okay.
Yep, you're going to have to go to genius.com, the cancerous site. I didn't ask for a free ride. I only asked you to show me a real good time. I never asked for the rainfall. At least I showed up. You showed me nothing at all. It's coming down on me, water like misery. It's coming down on me. I'm ready, rain on me. I'd rather be dry, but at least I'm alive. Rain on me, rain, rain, rain on me, rain, rain. Living in a world where no one's innocent. Oh, but at least we try. Gotta live my truth, not keep it bottled in, so I don't lose my mind, baby. Yeah.
This is a really dumb song. I don't know.
It is dumb. I can feel it on my skin. It's coming down on me. Teardrops on my face. Water like misery. Let it wash away my sins. It's coming down on me. Let it wash away. Yeah. I'd rather be dry, but at least I'm alive. Rain on me. Rain, rain. Hands up to the sky. I'll be your galaxy. I'm about to fly. Rain on me. Tsunami. This is so embarrassing, you guys. I'll be your galaxy. I'm about to fly. Rain on me. I'd rather be dry, but at least I'm alive. Rain on me, rain on me, rain on me, rain, 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 rain.
Oh wait, there's comments.
Oh my God. One time I met a woman who knew pain the same way I did, who cried as much as I did, drank as much wine as I did, ate as much pasta as I did, and whose heart was bigger than her whole body. She immediately felt like a sister to me. She then held my hand and invited me into the beautiful world of Chromatica together. We got to express how beautiful and healing it feels to motherfucking cry. I hope this makes you all feel as uplifted as it does for us both. I love you, Lady Gaga, you stunning superwoman.
Boy.
That is Ariana Grande's quote about the song. That is so embarrassing, Ariana. Stop being so sensitive on Maine. Oh my God.
Did I tell you when I saw her in person?
Ariana?
Yeah, she's like this tall. She's so little.
She is a tiny, tiny little girl. So these are comments by the artist.
Blood Pop did the song, but it's like a very kind of just like dated house track. It's not particular. It's not that. It's fine.
It's definitely about getting pissed on.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
Yeah. Brain.
But you were saying that she's being held captive, and then
yes, she could also be one of Epstein's victims. We all pretend to be innocent, but we're not, though we try, or whatever that lyric was.
It's a Target exclusive international deluxe, which is probably why they're looting Target right now, is to get the deluxe version of
it
the
makes
Rain
so
on
much
Me
sense
compact disc.
Because obviously that is the way most people listen to music these days.
Mm-hmm.
Compact discs.
Compact disc.
That is, I'm so amazed that like, it's the gays will.
I nailed it too, because I said it's about 30 seconds of a song and then 3:03. So they literally figured out how to stretch out 30 seconds of a song into 3 minutes.
Yeah. The gays will literally salivate over any meat that you give them.
True. But there is an aesthetic to it that I think it's like almost like algorithm.
Yes.
Where it's just like, okay.
The gay algorithm.
Who's the main queen that gays always froth over? It's like, it's Lady Gaga. And then who's kind of a controversial figure in gay life, and that's Ariana Grande.
Yeah, because she's like not actually a person of color.
Right.
And
then all those.
Her last name is like Grant.
Right.
And then she
and
changed
they're kind
it
of
to
like
Grande.
interpersonal relationships, all these kinds of things. So we'll pair them together, which will help Ariana's profile, and then we'll set it to a very just generic 90s era house track, and then have the chorus just be them saying the same word over. It's fit for the gays.
I don't know if you know this, but Lady Gaga is a woman of color. She's Italian.
Oh yes, yeah. And Jewish.
And Jewish. So she is a double threat.
She's like me.
Maybe so. She's a Italian, Jewish, a singer, a dancer, and an actor. She was in
Who cares?
that
A Star
movie
is
about
Born,
the
yeah.
woman with the mole. So she is a quintuple threat. She's a singer, dancer, actor, Italian, Jewish woman. It's a sextuple threat.
Yeah, I think this comment's sarcasm, but
It's crazy that the same Lady Gaga who gave the world Bad Romance and Paparazzi is the same Lady Gaga who vomited out this reprehensible prose. Look, I lived for Bad Romance and Paparazzi.
I mean,
I was a 12-year-old
Yeah.
gay. Of course I did.
I remember when that album came out. I was with my friend Peter, and it was like, I was just trying.
You had sex to it, right?
No, we never fought.
Oh.
but I remember that era of like kind of the, you know, how Gaga sort of took Madonna's thing and ran with it. I remember listening to it and being like, I wish I felt what you're feeling right now. Like I wish I enjoyed this the way that everybody else seems to.
It definitely had an impact on me who had yet to come out of the
I
closet.
like the song Teeth. I thought that was a good song.
By Lady Gaga?
Yeah.
I don't know that
like,
one.
Show me your teeth. That one?
Ooh.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
But
Paws up, monsters. Or is it claws up? What does she say?
I don't know.
Everybody put your paws up.
But I love like when Born
Something
This Way
like
came
that.
out, all the gays were just like, okay, bitch, we get it. You don't have to go like this hard on this.
When I was a little gay, I was 12 or 13 when that came out. It was very important to the 13-year-olds, but not so important to the adults.
Yeah. We were just like, okay, bitch,
We get
calm
it.
down.
Come on.
And
Lady
look,
Gaga.
you know, like she does owe us. I mean, her career was basically built on playing gay clubs.
And that's why her charity work included going on Drag Race. So she went on Drag Race and was like, I love you faggots. And that was it. She sort of redeemed herself by doing that.
Yeah, well, I don't know. It's definitely worked for her.
I love you faggots.
All right.
All right.
I'm done.
Yeah, me too. That was fun.
All right. We love you all. We'll see
Love you guys.
on...
Love to see how your hair would fare in a blizzard.
like to see how your hair would fare in a blizzard. All right. Adios.
Bye, everybody.
This is all wrong. That's no good. How dare you? You have stolen my dreams. That's no good. How dare you?
It's a front basket.